All right, our next rule of three topic is going to involve artificial intelligence again. I'm going to keep the name artificial intelligence in the discussion here, even though I've suggested in another subject or another topic that we might want to change that to human-built intelligence. But here the topic is AI, there's only one problem. And that's tricky, because it's a little tricky on my part, because what I really mean to say is there's only one problem, AI. When I say problem, I'm saying, there's only one problem. It's really only a problem for us human beings. And, because we're looking at it, obviously, topics like this, we look at through the lens of our human experience. And so looking at it from that perspective, how many problems do we face? How many existential problems do we face currently? Well, there's a ton of them. There's a whole load of problems that could wipe us out of existence. Anything from asteroids hitting us to climate change and all the rest of it. There's a whole bunch of things, and I'm going to run through that in a little bit in the context of this topic, which is AI. And there are really two different types of AI. If you want to get into a kind of the definitional or the categorical description of what AI is, it can take two different paths. The first path is that we have machines and we have other devices that learn on their own. We've built them, but then they're continuing their own development without involving and without incorporating any human elements as they go forward. That's something that I'd like to call autonomous AI. So it's autonomous in the sense that it doesn't involve any kind of continuing involvement of human beings, and it's something that is going to just operate and then eventually operate on its own. There's a second version of AI that, again, I like to make up terms all the time, and so I've just made these things up, but I'm making up this term, which is integrated AI. So what that is the merger of human beings with technology. And if you think about your arms and legs, even maybe right now we have the neural chips, the neural link that is going into people's brains. So we're becoming more and more integrated with technology, and so I'm calling it integrated AI. And so we have autonomous AI and integrated AI. If you take those things and you look at where they're going, we can then take a look and see what kind of problems we face with those compared to other problems that confront us on an existential level. If you take a look at what happens to these entities as they go forward, an autonomous AI or in the integrated AI situation, the things that affect us aren't going to affect them. For instance, climate change. It's a massive issue for us because we have biological bodies, and those bodies are going to be subject to all sorts of problems when climate change occurs. And I'm not here to really expound on climate change. It's a big controversial topic. Certainly, it seems the science is there, but it doesn't really matter because when either autonomous or integrated AI takes over, that's going to become less and less, and then eventually, less and less relevant, and eventually irrelevant to the situation because that form is not going to be subject to climate change problems. Same thing for poverty. Right now, we have a huge problem with massive poverty all over the world, and eventually resource reduction could be a significant challenge to our species, but not when AI is there. That's not going to be the problem. It doesn't consume the kind of resources that we do, and it doesn't need them. It might need energy. It might need forms of energy that maybe we can't quite comprehend yet, but it won't need the kind of resources that lead to poverty if you don't have them. Same thing with aging. Of course, there's going to be replacement of mechanical parts that's necessary, but maybe eventually that would go away with AI as well. What would happen then is it would develop it would not need a physical structure, but it would it would take on a virtual setting. And once that happens, then certainly there would be no aging. Aging is just is something that's again it's exclusive to the biological forms that we are, and therefore won't be relevant. There's a whole bunch of other ones. Overpopulation. Those war and illness and pandemics. Again, all things that are not relevant to mechanical and or virtual entities. So what's going to happen is those entities are, if Ray Kurzweil and the people who are at the leading edge of AI technology are right, even if they're wrong by a long way, but they're still right in the end, and that it's coming soon, that we're going to have this singularity, which I'll get into in another topic, where human beings and machines become effectively one, and or they're indistinguishable from each other. That's going to happen way before these other problems take over. The major challenge here is for us to identify and be able to interact with and deal with, manage as best we can the situation with the development of AI, because that is really our only issue right now. All right, so if you want to know more about this, and you want to know more about our subjects in general, and you want to provide your input, which would be awesome, I'd love to have your thoughts on this and in the other topics that we talk about. Questions you might have, please visit us at our website. It's exusthepodquest.com, very aptly named. Again, exusthepodquest.com. You go there, and we will be going ever forward.